Hey, this is EAJ Man from Autopsy Live and the Skype Pirates. When I want to make it look like I give a shit about sports, I tune into Sports World Radio with Jeff Escow.
Jeff
Doing about time. Doing about time. Got myself a problem.
I feel my pecker tingling, balls are jingling too. Come on and tell me whether I can link together with you. I need a hot slip, mommy, to slip my slimy into. I must be over eager, cause even your beaver will do. I stick my finger up my rum-pum-pum-pum and then massage my prostate with my thumb. It makes me piss my pants and turns my nuts numb. And up my anal hole you find bubble gum. Watch you some fresh from my bum. How about I come like Old Faithful? Would you like a faithful? I come like deported Jews to Bethlehem. With volume and power, I pop off every hour. Hot teasers, we abhor them. Sluts and whores, we score them. We come and we ignore them. All men are pigs. How about up on the housetop, the reindeer paws, while blitzing butt fuck Santa Claus. Down to the chimney with the plop. Here comes a load of reindeer slop. Wouldn't you know, kids got soaked from head to toe. Up on the housetop, click, click, click. I heard Rudolph say, hey, fat boy, drop the toys and suck my dick. Oh, that's fucking This is almost a Christmas song. Blowjobs and hand jobs and eating clitoris. Watching your grandmother douche with the Boris. Pubic fun hairs and toilet bowl rings. These are a few of my favorite things. How about setting your grandmother's pubes on fire? Watching her crabs run just like Richard Pryor. Fucking midgets to Lord of the Rings. They are a few of my favorite things. How about probing my dick hole with sharpened lead pencils? Enlarging my asshole with kitchen utensils. Knowing the joy that an egg beater brings. They are a few of my favorite. We got any football fans here? How about watching the Jets suck the moose every Sunday? Thank God they won't be playing next year on a Monday. Mark Sanchez's arm in a permanent sling. They are a few of my favorite. Ah, fuck you. Eat shit, like my ass. Rub my cock with KY jelly. Squirt up on your belly. Lick it up, you fucking glutton. My gift for you this year is nothing. It's beginning to look a lot like syphilis all around my nose. That's enough of that fucking shit. Did we do Joy to the World? Joy to the girls from Florida. Your presence in my pants. I had no time to rap it. Merry Christmas, bitch, now laugh it. Repeat that bobbing stroke. Repeat that bobbing stroke. Repeat until the fuck not. You got Satchmo. You got Satchmo. Let me drink first. Fucking A, I hear there's some people that came from quite a distance to fucking get here. St. Augustine, Jacksonville, wherever there's a Chicago guy back there too. Fucking A. Well, thanks for coming out. Hope you're going to have a good night. Fucking A, here's to you. You got Satchmo and Peebo, Rental and Tyrone, Rufus and Virgil, Bubba and Hambone. Hey, but do you recall the most famous spear chucker of all? Leroy the Big Lip Digger also had a push-in nose. Oh, wait a minute, we're in fucking Florida. You got Carmine and Nikki, Tony and Vinny, Nunzio, Salvatore, Guido the Guinea. Hey, but do you recall the most famous greaseball of all? Dominic the Dumb Fuck Dago had his mother's mustache clipped. I know some of you fuckers. You got Patrick and Liam, Sean and O'Grady, Mickey and Sully, Fitzgerald O'Casey. Hey, but do you recall the most famous drunkard of all? Teddy, the Chappaquiddick surfer. Well, I come from Buffalo. We got any Polish people here? Fucking one or two. Fuck yeah. You got Stanislaus Stashu, Sophie Mikowski, Stella Gadinka, Lek and Dombrowski. Hey, but do you recall the laziest pierogi of all? Grumpy, the big kielbasa, couldn't even count a tree. A couple of years ago now, a couple of Arab guys came up and said, why aren't we included? Okay. You got Uday and Kusay, Muammar and Hassad, Yasser, Osama, Dawood and Ahmad. Hey, but do you recall the most famous Duncoon of all? Khalid, the camel cock cowboy. Named his 15 kids Muhammad. Listen, my favorite race of all to pick on. You got Julio, Jorge, Pablo and Chico, Manuel, Jose, Chichi, and Rico. Hey, but do you recall the most famous busboy of all? Pepe, the cokehead Cuban, lived in an 8x10 room with 15 relatives. Listen, if we didn't get your race, don't feel left out. We hate you cocksuckers too. We just haven't thought of a song. Let's do a little, you ready to sing along here? Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Asked me for a date. You said for Christmas Eve, by then you'd lose some weight. I think I understand the tinsel in your hair, but why have you got mistletoe inside your underwear? Oh, jingle balls, jingle to and fro, watching all the little puppies making yellow snow. Oh, jingle balls, jingle 1, 2, 3. Why don't you come over here and jingle balls with me? Splashing in your gash and a one-horse open sleigh. My parents think you're trash, but I think you're okay. Filling park balloons from a nozzle up my ass. I'd like to fill another, but I think I'm out of gas. Oh, jingle balls, jingle to and fro, watching all the little children eating yellow snow. Oh, jingle balls, jingle 1, 2, 3. Why don't you come over here and jingle balls with me? Why don't you come over here and jingle balls with me?
We gotta warm up for Christmas now. We're gonna do the 12 days of Christmas. Everybody try it. Here we go. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a hung job in a pear tree. There's 2 tons of tip and a hung job in a pear tree. On the 5th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 5 motherfuckers. 4 cocksuckers, 3 breast necklaces, 2 tons of tip and a hung job in a pear tree. On the 7th day of Christmas, my true love. 6 sacks of shit. 5. I know it doesn't sound like you mean it, so everybody sing it at the top of your lungs. Here we go. 4 cocksuckers, 3 breast necklaces, 2 tons of tip and a hung job in a pear tree. On the 8th day of Christmas, 7 scrotum swinging, 6 sacks of shit. 5 cocksuckers, 3 breast necklaces, 2 tons of tip and a hung job in a pear tree. On the 9th day of Christmas, 8 gaping assholes, 7 scrotum swinging, 6 crusty sheets. 5 4 cocksuckers, 3 breast necklaces, 2 tons of tip and a hung job in a pear tree. On the 10th day of Christmas, 9 lessies licking, 8 assholes licking, 7 scrotum swinging, 6 sacks of shit. 5 Let's everybody try and falsetto now. 5 more. Oh no, we got a few of you numbnuts doing it normal. Now you gotta act like you're Tiny Tim. Now everybody like a seal. We're all fucking seals now. Here we go. 4 cocksuckers, 3 breast necklaces, 2 tons of tip and a hung job in a pear tree. On the last day of Christmas, my 12. Fuck you. Yeah, man, I want to skip some of this shit. 12 clots of twitching, 11 testicles tingling, 10 nipples dribbling, 9 lessies licking, 8 assholes licking, 7 scrotum swinging, 6 sacks of shit. 5
From San Diego, it's SportsWorldRadio. You've never heard a sports show like this. Oh, no, you haven't.
Oh, blow me.
You got it.
Holy fucking shit.
What in the hell is your major malfunction?
Can't believe that goddamn son of a bitch did that fucking crap.
Don't give me any of your shit.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Those are your hosts, Jeff Escow and Sean Mann. Remember, those who can't play sports, talk about it. These two tell it like it is. Tune into Sports World Radio for the fastest hour of sports of your life. So here they are, the douchebags of sports themselves, Jeff Escow and Sean Mann.
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to Sports World Radio! Merry freaking Christmas, everybody. Glad everybody's hanging in there with us today. We got a jam-packed show. Tomorrow is Christmas. We'll be off tomorrow. We're taking the day. We'll be back on freaking Thursday, though, and Friday, and Saturday. I hope everybody's having a great holiday week, and will be weekend soon coming up. Glad everybody can be with us. I am your host, Jeff Escow. We'll bring in Sean in just a minute. You can listen to this show right here on SportsWorldRadio.com or on Spreaker.com or on HonestAnswerRadio.com. You can also follow us on Facebook over there at Facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. You can also follow us on Twitter at Twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. Now, over on Twitter, the world has no O in it, so it's Sports World Radio without the O in world on Twitter. You can also follow us on Pinterest, Sports World Radio. Just type in Sports World Radio, do a Google search, and you'll find us everywhere. Everywhere. And follow us everywhere so you'll never miss a show. Now, if you're listening to us on SportsWorldRadio.com and you have a Skype account, click that little red button on the top left, and you can call the show and ask us any questions you want, or tell us that we suck, or tell us that you like us, or tell us anything you want. Again, if you're listening to the show on SportsWorldRadio.com, there's a button there on the left-hand side, a red button that says Call Now. If you have your Skype on, you can call the show and talk to us. Now, if you're listening to us on Sports World Radio, you're missing half the fun, because we're over on Spreaker in the chat room hanging out with us over there. If you got a Spreaker account, sign in, and then you can hang out in the chat room with us, whether you're on SportsWorldRadio.com listening to the show or over on our Spreaker station. Doesn't matter. How about them apples? With all that being said and out the way, what do you say we bring in the co-host of Sports World Radio, Mr. Sean Mann, the Update Man? How's it going there, pal?
I am doing very well, Jeff, and thank you very much. Welcome to Sports World Radio. It is Tuesday, December 24th, 2013. It is 7:08 p.m. on the East Coast, which makes it 4:08 p.m. on the West. And over where Dr. Myth is at, 12:08 a.m. Merry Christmas, Dr. Myth. Merry Christmas, Jeff, and Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope everybody's having a fantastic holiday.
I hope so, too. I hope everybody's having a great holiday and they're all doing okay, and we'll have a good holiday and all that good stuff. Okay, cool.
Excellent. Myth can hear us.
I just wanted to make sure, because the bars aren't moving as much as they usually do. It's a Christmas freaking miracle. It's screwing me up. So what you think of my Christmas music, huh?
You're very creative with it.
Everybody's always playing the same old Christmas music, right? I get a little tired of hearing the same old crap all the time, so I decided to play something a little different, folks. I hope you liked it. My buddy John Valby, 12 Days of Christmas, all his good Christmas music. I decided to play it before the show. So that's who that was. That's a gentleman by the name of Dr. Dirty, John Valby, playing Christmas music. One of my favorite Christmas songs, 12 Days of Christmas. Very dirty song. But that's just who I am, so there you go. All right, Shawnee, what do you got for us today, buddy?
Yeah, Myth, Merry Christmas to you, you bastard. Just kidding. Anyway, we go to the first topic of the day. We start with, we're going to save something really, really big toward the end of the show, but we start in the NBA. The Los Angeles Lakers coach says, I'm discouraged. Move on. The Lakers are 13-15. Everybody's wondering, what's going on in La La Land? What do you think there, Jeff?
What do you think's going on there in La La Land?
They're not playing very well, and the Lakers overall are 13-15. They are 10th right now in the Western Conference. Right now, Jeff, I know it's a long season, but I say the LA Lakers will not make the playoffs with the way they're playing.
Well, it's too early to even tell that right now, and he's for 6 weeks, so it's not really going to matter.
Yeah, the Lakers went 1-5 on their last road trip. Kobe Bryant is out, as well as their top 3-point guards, and Steve Nash,
they got a problem.
Steve Blake, and Jordan Farmar.
Yeah, they got a lot of people missing. They got a problem over there.
They got a problem, and if they lose again, 16-13, do you think, Jeff, that Mike D'Antoni's job is on the line? Remember, you and I said this was not the right move for the LA Lakers.
I don't think so. Actually, what they're going to do is they're going to leave D'Antonio there. Watch this. I actually think they're going to leave D'Antonio there until Kobe Bryant's contract is up. And then when Kobe goes, D'Antonio's going to go as well. How about that? How about that for a prediction? You like that for a prediction, dude?
Well, it could remind a lot of the bad Laker teams of the 1990s before Shaq came to LA, which was in 1996, and then they finally turned it around. And then apparently, then Phil Jackson came in. They won 3 straight championships from the 99 to the 2002 season. But ever since then, remember the Lakers have had breakups before. Remember, Shaq went to Miami, Malone retired, Gary Payton went to Boston, and it just seems like they've had a lot of transitioning. And Kobe Bryant was not happy. And then remember, Belichick saying, "This is Kobe's team. This is Kobe's team." And then apparently, then Rudy Tomjanovich didn't work out. Then they went back to Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson stepped down, and then it's Mike D'Antoni. I mean, blah, 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 you could go on forever.
Well, you could do that about any team. You could do that about any team. You could do that about your Boston Celtics.
Well, we're talking Lakers, buddy. Come on now.
I know, but you could do that about any team with a head coach. I could do that about the Boston Celtics if you want.
No, Brad Stevens, though, I'll get to him in a sec. But with the Lakers, though, they're a real interesting team. Everybody thought they could come back and bounce back this year after getting swept against San Antonio.
That's interesting. You're a Boston Red Sox fan, and you open the show with NBA and the Los Angeles Lakers. That's pretty interesting.
Well, you wanted me to try to move beyond it for a moment, because Boston is a city of champions.
Oh, jeez Louise. Not in the NBA year. This year they ain't.
Well, Bruins are doing well, Patriots are doing well, and the Red Sox are the defending World Series champions. Come on now.
Oh, yeah, but that's about it. You're not going to win another championship.
I don't know about that. Remember, you're the one who was even saying that Red Sox weren't even going to win it this year, and then look what happened there, huh? Yeah.
Well, see, and I wanted to bet you. You should have bet. See what happens?
I don't bet, but I always have a good determination to win.
I always have a good determination I'll win. You're a rat bastard. You know that?
Oh, come on. I've been a rat bastard candidate every time we've done shows.
You know that? You're a rat bastard, man.
Back when we were doing ITMI, then we moved over to Spreaker.
We've been all over the place, haven't we? Now we're set right here.
Anyway, here's what Mike D'Antoni said. He goes, quote, "Why would I be discouraged? I mean, we're fighting with a bunch of good guys that played well before, and they'll play well again. If the fans are discouraged, then find another team to root for. I'm all right. We are not going to give up. Are you kidding me? Discouraged? That's not even fair to these guys."
Hey, your boy Pierce got fined $15,000 for that flagrant foul the other night.
Yeah, and we go to that other team, the Brooklyn Nets. Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth.
That's your boy right there. That's your boy right there, Pierce.
Yeah.
That's your man.
Excessive and unnecessary contact.
That's your man.
With the Pacers point guard, George Hill, in the
third
quarter of Monday night's game.
Kind of whacked him in the face, didn't he?
Yep.
Kind of whacked him in the face a little bit there, didn't he? Hey, really quick, did you say something last week? If I remember correctly, I know I'm jumping the gun over here. Last week, you said something about the Phoenix Suns and Jeff Hornacek, right?
Yeah.
You said, what did you say about him? So you said something about them, right? He's doing a pretty good job with them, isn't it? Jeff Hornacek, the head coach of the Phoenix Suns, is doing a pretty good job over there, isn't he?
Yeah, he's doing pretty well, and he's done a good job with
Hey, they're doing better than the Lakers.
Yeah, and they're doing better than the Brooklyn Nets, who are 9-18.
With your boy Pierce. With your man Pierce and Garnett over there.
Well, we stay with the Brooklyn Nets. Here's what Kevin Garnett said. The Nets need identity. He goes, quote, "I don't think we have an identity. I don't know
Yes, they do.
what we are."
Yes, I do. You want to know what their identity is?
What?
They're comfortable with losing. They're losers. Because they're comfortable with losing. And that's not coming from me. Comfortable with losing, that quote right there, comes from their head coach.
Jason Kidd is just figuring out a way to get himself fired. He doesn't know what he's doing, like you said.
He should have never been the head coach of this team. And they're not going to fire him. He should have never been the head coach of that team. And they're not going to fire him. in the middle of the season. They just won't do it.
Well, here they are, the $190 million Nets, who are 9-18, who have lost 3 straight games, ranked 27th in defensive efficiency, allowing a staggering 106.2 points per game.
Yeah, they're terrible. Yeah,
For
what is there, 30 teams?
Yeah.
Right. See, look, it's a direct quote from Jason Kidd. Kind of getting comfortable with losing.
Yep.
Direct quote.
There you go.
That's your head coach saying that. If that's your head coach saying that, you know what? You got a problem. And that problem's got to get fixed. You can't get comfortable with losing. Losing should never be comfortable.
I know, and this comes from a Brooklyn Nets team, Who
on paper, and I've said this from the beginning when all this went down. Everybody, look at the New York Brooklyn Nets. They're going to be freaking awesome. They're going to be better. On paper, yes.
Yep.
But you got to play the game.
Well, they were running their mouths off all summer, and then the Brooklyn Nets were saying, we're the kings of New York. We're better than the New York Knicks.
On paper. But guess what?
On paper.
Guess what? You don't play the game on paper. You play it on a court. And right now, looks like the Brooklyn Nets are playing on paper and not on the court.
Yeah, being 9-18 this season.
What's the new? Well, come on, 9-18. The New York Knicks are worse than that.
Yeah.
Right?
And with Jason Kidd saying, we are kind of getting comfortable with losing.
Yeah.
Hello. If I was a coach, I wouldn't be happy with the performance, and it'd be a way to snap out of it.
The New York Knicks and the Brooklyn Nets have the same record. They're both 9-18.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay? They're both the crappiest teams in New York. All right? 9-18. Can you believe that? 9-18, and they're only 3 games back in the Atlantic Division. How crazy is that?
It's nuts. They're behind the Boston Celtics, who are also an embarrassment.
Well, they're 12-17. They're only 1 game behind freaking Toronto, who's 11-15.
Yeah.
Come on, that's a ridiculous freaking division right there.
The Atlantic Division, in my opinion, stinks.
Good thing they're not in the Central. I'll tell you that. That's Central in the East. Woof, are you kidding me? Look at Indiana. They're 10 games up already. They're 10 games up on Detroit, 12 on Chicago. That thing is over. That thing is over.
The Nets came into this season with the NBA's highest payroll, an estimated $190 million, counting the impending luxury tax and extremely high expectations, but they failed to meet them.
Well, you know why? Because you don't play the game on paper. You play it on a court, bouncing a ball and shooting it into a basket. Okay? And all you freaking ESPN, all you commentators on ESPN that said, the Nets are going to be so much better, than this, and they're going to be they're one of the best 4 teams in the Eastern Conference, and this, and they're going to be the best team in New York, blah, 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 blah. Guess what? You were all freaking wrong. You know why? Because you were looking at the paper and forgot that they got to play the game on the court. And I believe there was only one person saying that it's not going to happen, and that was me. And guess what? I was right again.
Yeah, and the Brooklyn Nets are thinking that they are going to be good, and then all this talk about how they wanted to be over ahead of the New York Knicks, not happening. Because remember, the Knicks are they're the older brother, and the Nets are always the little brother. Even going back to the days when they were the New Jersey Nets, which is where they basically.
Well, you know how many times I had to stop myself saying that just while we were talking about them. I wanted to say the New Jersey Nets every time I was talking about them. That's why I moved.
know.
That's why I moved over. That's why I moved over to a page that's got the Brooklyn Nets on it, so I would say the Brooklyn Nets.
Every time during my updates that I have to give Jeff, I always feel like I'm going to say New Jersey Nets, but no, they're actually Brooklyn Nets.
How about the New Orleans Pelicans?
Oh, that's still a hard one to get used to as well.
You want to know something? The New Orleans Pelicans, as funny as that name is, and as funny as their uniforms are, have a better record than the Knicks and the Nets. Just saying.
And Tom Benson's got to be happy because he's the owner of the New Orleans
saying,
Pelicans and Saints.
If the Pelicans were in the East, in the Atlantic Division, they'd be in first place. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm just saying. They'd be first or second place. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty nuts. You know?
Crazy if you ask me.
Yeah. Milwaukee has the worst record in the NBA. They're 6-22.
Yeah, and they beat my Celtics twice, and I thought, what's up with that? Losing to the worst team in the NBA.
I know.
Well, you know the Celtics are going to belong.
They beat the Celtics twice and the Knicks once. Holy cannoli. Those are 3 of their 6 wins right there. Sean, right there. 3 of those 6 wins right there. How crazy is that?
Very crazy indeed. But, yeah, with the Brooklyn Nets, though, there's been a lot of anger with their team. Paul Pierce was over. He was held scoreless for the first time since March 9th of 1999. Other news to report is Garnett and Pierce both left without talking to the media. Pierce was automatically ejected after being assessed that flagrant foul. So
that whole team's going to change next year.
Oh,
that
God.
whole entire team will be changed next year. Watch. I'm just saying. Watch.
And you had to agree with Danny Ainge, though, for kind of saying, look, I have to make the decision. I need to start rebuilding the Celtics. They're old. They're going to be banged up if we keep the core, you know?
He did the right thing. He sold his freaking high-priced players to somebody who wanted them, who thought they still had something left, and guess what? That's what happened.
Well, the Celtics are cleaning house, and all they're trying to do is fight for the NBA draft picks. That's what they should do, just fight for the lottery.
They're laying a freaking egg. You know what I mean? That's just, you know, come on now.
And Garnett saying, we don't know if we have an identity. I don't know where we are.
Yeah, you know what your
That's what
identity
Garnett's
is?
saying.
Your identity is you're a bunch of losers because you're getting comfortable with losing. So that's your identity. And you know what? If you agree with me, great. If you disagree with me, great. I don't care. That's what this is. It's called freedom of speech. Okay? And I have it right now with the microphone in front of me.
In the NFL, here's the next topic. Aaron Rodgers says, I'm feeling better. The Green Bay Packers don't practice until Thursday because of the holidays. Rodgers said Tuesday on his ESPN Milwaukee radio show that he underwent another scan within the last 24 hours and will be made before preparation resumes for Sunday's game at the Chicago Bears. And how big would Aaron Rodgers be? Huge, because they know a win and they're in, and a loss, and of course they are out. So Aaron Rodgers is a game-time decision.
Who do they play Sunday?
At the Chicago Bears for the NFC North Division.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Big games this Sunday coming up, right?
Big games indeed, and the Packers know that if they want to win, I think Aaron Rodgers is important. Although Flynn hasn't been bad for the Packers, but question is, can Matt Flynn, if he goes, can he play through the hostile environment in Chicago?
I don't think Matt Flynn's going. I think if Aaron Rodgers can go, he's gonna go.
Yeah.
You know.
Big
okay.
game
Do you
for
think?
both teams.
I bet you it's Rex Ryan's last game as the head coach of the Jets too.
I think there'll be a lot of moves. I think the Raiders could fire their coach because I was seeing somewhere today that the Raiders coach says, I don't care if the Raiders quarterback screws up.
Well, that's good because you can't put any pressure on the guy. That's a young team, the Raiders. The most penalized team in football.
Well, they haven't been the same. ever since I know Al Davis is just rolling over in his grave saying, why can't we just win and get back to playing old-fashioned Raider football?
I don't know, but you can't. Not until you get the right personnel in there. You know? So I'm having a feeling that the Jets are probably going to be having a new head coach. I almost think Miami might even, too, with all the crap that's been going on down there, even though they're still fighting for a playoff spot. You know what I'm saying? Houston already fired their manager.
Yeah, Gary Kubiak.
Right, maybe a manager, head coach. Maybe Tennessee might as well. You know?
Tennessee, the Jets are a possibility.
Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's a possibility. Buffalo's a possibility. Oakland's a possibility. Even Dallas is a possibility.
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into Dallas till we get back from the update.
What a cluster freak that's going on over there in Cowboy Land, isn't it?
And Big D, you know that they're very nervous down there because they know it's been 2 straight years that they have not.
3. It's gonna be. Yeah. This is the 3rd year. It's gonna be 3 years in a row, and I'm just gonna. I can't. And you know something? They put that game on Sunday night, which is the smartest thing in the world for them to do.
It's beautiful, and I know you'll be watching it, and I'll be watching it on Sunday night.
I might even have to Skype you.
Oh, my Skype will be on, man.
Oh, I know it will there, Junior. I know.
The Raiders are going to get rid of their coach. Rex Ryan, I say, is gone. He'll go be a coordinator somewhere else, and then all the dreams of a Super Bowl with the Jets all down the drain. Giants, I don't think they'll get rid of Tom Coughlin. I'd be shocked if they got rid of him.
No, they're not getting rid of him. There's no way they're getting rid of him. No, there's no way. They've won how many Super Bowls with him as head coach?
2.
He deserves another year. Okay? He deserves another year. Yeah, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Before we go to the... What the hell happened to my thing here? Okay, yeah, here we go. Before we go to break really quick, the teams that made the playoffs last year, how many of them will be making it this year? Think about that question before we go to break. In fact, we're going to go to break, and on the other side of this break, Sean and I will talk about that very question right there. This update is brought to you by TimepieceReviews.com. Head on over to TimepieceReviews.com. Check out all their watches and all their timepieces. Wonderful, wonderful, really great Rolexes and Timexes and Invicas and Casios and all of them over there. Check them out, TimepieceReviews.com. Take it away, Sean, man, with the only update of the day.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. Welcome to the bottom of the hour. It is 7:29 p.m. on the East Coast, which makes it 4:29 p.m. on the West Coast, which means it is Christmas Eve night, everybody kind of hanging out with their families. But if you are listening, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Let's get caught up on what's going on in Major League Baseball. The Dodgers added ex-Indians closer Perez to the bullpen. The Minnesota Twins, they finalized contracts with Belfray and Suzuki, as the Kurt Suzuki, and actually Belfray. The Orioles signed Grant Balfour for the Orioles, so he will be looking for a new destination. In the NBA tomorrow, of course, there's a lot of stuff to get to for tomorrow. That it's Christmas, and they for a long time where they played NBA games, I think since like the early 70s or early 70s. You got the Chicago Bulls at the Brooklyn Nets, the Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the New York Knicks. I know Jeff will be watching that since he's the big Knicks fan. In Los Angeles, the Lakers have always played a traditional Christmas game, and they will be playing against the Los Angeles Lakers. Houston Rockets at the San Antonio Spurs. And lastly, it'll be the Los Angeles Clippers taking on the Golden State Warriors for Christmas night. So for all you basketball fans who love the NBA and love watching games on Christmas, There you go. There's your morning, afternoon, mid-afternoon, and evening schedule for the NBA game. In the NHL, there are no games scheduled for tonight. The NHL season will resume on Friday because the NHL doesn't play tonight, Christmas Day, and the day after Christmas. So for Friday, that's the situation. I'll have the update for NHL games for Friday's show. In the NFL, of course, the big news coming around in Big D, Jerry Jones believes that the Dallas Cowboys will be bringing in Tony Romo. However, Tony Romo feels that he won't be able to go because his back continues to be a problem. And how about this? The Dallas Cowboys, and Jeff, you're going to be shaking your head when you hear this, are bringing back John Kitna, who is 41 years old. That's right, John Kitna has signed a deal with the Dallas Cowboys. In other news to report, Rex Ryan, his job status, no word yet if he will be back next year. The Jets are trying to do what they can to keep him back. Dallas doesn't even know if Jason Garrett will be back. So when we do our show on Monday of next week, it will be Black Monday for NFL coaches. They will be losing their jobs or resigning after a disastrous season. Don't forget, our NFL Real Talk is on Saturday, where Jeff and I will be going over the week number 17 matchups. Sports World Radio, I'm Sean Mann, your update man. Back to the host of Sports World Radio, Jeff Eskow.
That update was brought to you by TimepieceReviews.com. Check out TimepieceReviews.com. They got some great watches over there, some really killer watches, Rolex, Timexes. Check out TimepieceReviews.com. If you're looking for a really good watch, check out TimepieceReviews.com. All right, so before we went to the break, I mentioned that we were going to talk about which teams made the playoffs from last year to this year, and I am just finishing up the teams from last year so we can compare them to the teams from this year. All right, Sean?
All righty.
So I have all the teams that made it last year right now in front of me, and now I have all the teams, so far most of the teams that are making it this year, and we'll start off with the AFC, because normally every year 6 teams change, right? That's what I say. I say normally it's 6 teams every year, right?
Yeah, and since you asked me that question, I can think of one team that will not be in it compared to last year. Houston Texans is one.
Yeah, so correct. Houston Texans is one of the teams that's not in it so far, okay? That's just one of them. Let me get this thing up, okay. So last year you had the Broncos, the Colts, the Bengals, and the Patriots, and that's what you got this year in the top 4. Then you had the Houston Texans, which aren't in it, and so far the Baltimore Ravens, the defending Super Bowl champs. So there's your 4 teams right. There's your 2 teams right there from the AFC. The Texans and the Ravens, right?
Right.
That's 2 teams from the AFC, okay? Now, well, even though the Ravens are in the hunt right now for a wild card spot, it's very, very iffy for them.
It'll be difficult. They're going to need to win their game, and they're going to need lots of help.
Lots of help, right. Now, over in the NFC, Seattle made it last year. They're making it this year.
Yep.
Okay. Who else am I looking at? San Francisco made it last year. Okay. They're going to make it this year. Okay. And that is it. That is it. Washington ain't going to make it this year. If Green Bay wins, they're in. So they made it last year, but right now they're not in. Minnesota made it last year. They're not there. And Atlanta, they're not there.
Yeah,
4. That's 4 teams, possibly. Okay? There's your 6 teams.
Yeah, and when you think about it too, Jeff, you bring up the Vikings. Another team that might be making a change at head coach. It would be the Vikings. Leslie Frazier, his job is not very pretty either, and the Vikings might be letting him go.
Well, they don't know what they're doing with a quarterback, let alone what they're doing with a freaking head coach.
Vikings got too many. Yeah, they have a problem with quarterback. Either go to the NFL draft and start looking at a quarterback because Ponder hasn't been doing the job for them. Matt Castle's not been doing the job for them. They've had to do a lot of flip-flopping this year at quarterback.
I mean, there's your 6 teams. Your 6 teams. The Falcons, the Vikings, the Packers, the Redskins, the Texans, and the Ravens. There's your 6 teams that made the playoffs last year, aren't making the playoffs, or may not make the playoffs this year. How about that? That's what we say. It's 6 different teams every year, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty nuts, isn't it?
Very crazy and very nuts.
That is. How about them apples? Okay, what do you got for me now?
Okay, Jeff, here's the next topic. In the NFL, we go back to it. Jerry Jones, we talked about this today, everybody on the show. Actually, before the show began, Jerry Jones says, you know what? I'm not going to rule out Tony Romo. I believe he'll be starting on Sunday night.
He's crazy. He's nuts. He's super crazy. He's super nuts. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
I don't know. I don't think so either. And here's another thing that Jerry Jones said. That's really a quick topic because I know the Romo thing, they've been blowing it out of proportion. Jones says Garrett not coaching for job. He said, here's what he said. With the Dallas Cowboys playing for a playoff berth on Sunday in their game against the Philadelphia Eagles at AT&T Stadium, owner and general manager Jerry Jones left no doubt about Coach Jason Garrett's job status. Jones said Garrett isn't coaching for his job, and any reports saying otherwise are inaccurate. He goes, quote, "That's not right. That's just not right," Jones said on his radio show on 105.3 FM The Fan, Dallas-Fort Worth, on Tuesday morning. I've addressed that 3 to 4 weeks ago, and he is not. That's all you need to say about it. And I would say that with him saying it and him taking a lot of pressure from the media, Jeff, it would appear to me that Jerry Jones doesn't want Jason Garrett to be fired as coach and that he doesn't want to see him gone.
I agree. I don't think he's going to. If Romo doesn't play Sunday, I think he's going to give Garrett a pass, and Garrett will be back next year.
But I don't know. It's like I know with him, he's
Let me ask you a question.
About this because it would be 3 straight years.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is a 50% or a 40% Romo better than 100% Orton?
I think it's below 50%.
No. You know what I'm saying? Tony Romo is not going to be 100% for this game. What is he going to be, about 40%? 50%?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 40 or 50.
Right. Okay. Is Tony Romo 40, 50% of him better than 100% of
Kyle
Orton?
I'd say you flip-flop it and you put Kyle Orton at 100% because Romo, you can't bring
Right. Well, Kyle Orton, I guess you're not understanding what I'm trying to say to you. Kyle Orton is 100%. He's not injured. He's 100%.
Right.
So Kyle Orton at 100% or Tony Romo at 40%. Because Tony Romo's hurt. He's not going to be at his best. What is he going to be at, 40% of his best? So who would you rather play? Tony Romo at 40% of his best or Kyle Orton at 100% of his best?
Oh, I understand what you're saying. I'm going to answer your question and say Kyle Orton.
I think so, too.
You can't bring in somebody
because soon as,
who is banged up.
Right. If he's banged up and 40% of his best, what's the first thing Philadelphia is going to do? Go hit him right in the back and knock him out of the game.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a big mistake if Dallas decides to put an injured Tony Romo in there.
Maybe hurt him even more, correct?
Yep.
So you have to put Kyle Orton in there. And then you tee off on that son of a bitch. And you blitz him like crazy. That guy hasn't seen action in years.
Garrett
blitz him
has
like
been
crazy.
criticized for a lack of consistency in his game management skills and for an inability to push his team to a division title or a wild card berth. But Sunday, a victory would give the Cowboys their first NFC East title since 2009.
Do you know if that happens, you know Jerry Jones is going to be a bear to deal with?
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
He's going to be a bear to deal with. And I don't want that to happen.
Ugh.
If they lose,
Ooh.
then he'll come up with all sorts of excuses. If they win, the first thing he's going to say is, how about them Cowboys? Oh, God.
That's what he'll say. Yeah, that's what he'll say going back even to the Super Bowl days when Jimmy Johnson was there. How about them Cowboys? And with Jerry Jones, if he doesn't get his way on Sunday, you bet he'll come up with excuses. But you will see an angry Jerry Jones because then it's 3 straight years that they lost on the final night just to get in there.
Jerry Jones, fire the general manager, will you?
And then he'll always say, "Well, who do you think? Who do you think should be general manager?
Not
I'm doing
you.
the best job I can."
Not you. Yeah, and it's not good enough. Jerry Jones, I want you to poll the NFL and ask them how long they keep a general manager as the general manager. How long do they keep him until they start winning, get into the playoffs, win a championship, win a Super Bowl? How long? How long do they let the GM go? Year after year, the team keeps failing. Even on the last game of the year, just keep falling short every single year. If any other general manager on any other team falling short year after year after year like that, 3 years like that, GM's gone. Don't you think so?
Yeah.
He's just lucky he owns the team.
Yeah, he's been the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. I did a little bit of research on Jones today on Wikipedia, and it was talking about how Jerry Jones bought the team in '89, and still to this day, Cowboy fans have had anger with him when he fired Tom Landry, who was really the Dallas Cowboys from 1960 to 1988.
Rat bastard.
And that's what got you upset, Jeff, because then he went and hired. Actually, Jimmy Johnson was Jerry Jones' teammate in college.
Yeah, well, once he bought the team and fired the best head coach that the Dallas Cowboys have ever had in Dallas Cowboy history, I said, screw the Dallas Cowboys. Screw them.
And how about this breaking news?
How
the
about
Cowboys signed and brought back John Kitna, the 41-year-old quarterback.
Well, he knows.
What is Jerry Jones doing?
He knows the offense, though.
Yeah, but he's 41 years old, and the question is, if Orton were to get hurt on Sunday night, can John Kitna do it?
No, but that's what's going to happen. Orton's going down Sunday, and then Kitner's going to be forced to play. What's up there, Andrew?
Hey, Browning, Merry Christmas, buddy.
I would love to have Jerry Jones on the show. To have Jerry Jones on the show, but it'll never happen because he doesn't have the balls to do it. Because I would ask him the hard questions and nobody else has the balls to ask.
You know why I've had ESPN off all day, Browning? Because they've been talking about it all day. I said, I got to get away from that crap. I'm sorry, I can't stand it.
No balls, Jerry Jones. That's what I'm calling him from now on. No balls, Jerry Jones. He doesn't have the balls to fire his general manager. Okay? And he doesn't have the balls to say it the way it is.
What happens if Jerry Jones came on the show and he goes, well, if I'm not doing a good job as general manager, how would you like to be general manager of the Cowboys, Jeff Escal?
I would do a better job than you. Stay away from me and let me do my job. But you know something, Mr. Jones? I wouldn't work for you if you paid me $10 million a year. Because I would not want to deal with you. I'm regretting having you in this interview because I don't like dealing with you to begin with.
that's what they did, Browning. They brought in John Kitna because if anything happens with Orton, if he plays a bad first half, they'll bring Kitna into the game.
And then all of a sudden, I'll say that to Jerry Jones, and all of a sudden you'll hear click. And I wouldn't care. Because you know what? Nobody's got the balls to say it to him. There's no other owner in professional sports. Hey, Nikki, there's no other owner in professional sports that will allow their general manager to lose year after year after year after year and not win a championship, not win a playoff game. No other owner. That son of a bitch would have been fired a long time ago. Merry Christmas, Nikki.
Yeah, and then he says, "Hey, everybody." He goes, "Jeff, you and Sean and Browning and all of you come down to Dallas, and you guys can be the general manager, and you can have assistant general manager."
Nope. I want to sit on my throne and berate you like a son of a bitch. It's easier. Nope.
If Jeff asks a question and Jerry Jones' answer will be dialed.
I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
I know it will be. Because I'm not afraid to ask him the question that everybody else is afraid to ask him. Nobody else has ever, not that I've seen, read, or heard. Nobody's asked him the question. Nobody. I'm telling you, there's no freaking owner of any professional. Go ask Magic Johnson. Hey, Magic, let me ask you a question. If your general manager didn't win a game or World Series or playoff series or anything in 25 years, would he still be your general manager? Hell no. You're damn right. The only reason he's the general manager is because he's the owner.
Yeah, and remember what he said a few months ago. He goes, "I think I'm doing a pretty dang good job as owner and general manager and president of the Cowboys."
Are you kidding me? Hey, Jerry Jones, when was the last time you won a playoff game?
I don't have to remind Browning about that. That was back when Romo won his only playoff game, 34-14.
When was that?
Yeah, and then they got thumped by Minnesota.
What year? What year was that, Sean?
Mm-hmm.
What year was that in?
That was January of 2010.
2010. So 3 years ago was the last time you won a playoff game with Tony Romo.
Yep.
Okay. When was the last time you won a Super Bowl?
1995.
1995?
Yeah.
Great work, General Manager. Great work, General Manager. Hey, General Manager, when was the last time you got to the Super Bowl? I do believe it was 1995, the same year you won it.
Yeah, and then he's had to make a lot of coaching changes.
Unbelievable he is. Same should see. I listen. If you don't win it as a GM, the owner can't get fired. He's the owner, so the crap falls down from the top. GM, manager, or head coach, right?
Yeah.
Only problem here is the manager or the owner can't fire the GM because it's the same.
Well, you know what'll end up happening? Dallas loses, then Jerry Jones will open up his mouth again next year, and he says, "I think we got a very good football team, and I think we're going to be Super Bowl contenders next year."
That's exactly what he's going to say, Sean. Sean, you hit it right on the head. That's exactly what he's going to say. Exactly, dude.
And he thinks Romo is his future. He signed this, gave him a 6-year extension in Dallas.
For winning one playoff game in his freaking career. For winning one playoff game. Can you imagine if Tony Romo wins the Super Bowl, how much money this son of a bitch is going to give him?
Oh, jeez.
I'm not going to see it in my lifetime, though. I can tell you that.
Won't happen in my lifetime
no, it won't.
either.
No, it won't. You hit the nail on the head on that one, too.
Because here's the thing, Jerry Jones even said, he goes, I think he's more in the tradition of Roger Staubach and Troy Aikman and with all the other Cowboy greats.
Jerry Jones is nothing without the Cowboys until he kicks the bucket. They're stuck with the old fart. I like that, Nicky. That's really good.
That's funny. Oh,
That's
Nicky.
good. I'm telling you, he could be the owner of the team. I don't have a problem with that. Because he is. Stop being the GM as well. Let somebody else do that.
He goes, well, who do you think could be the general manager of the Cowboys?
There's a million people out there. But do you know what the problem is? Know what the problem is?
What?
Nobody wants to work for him.
Well, when Dallas hosted the Super Bowl, he was really upset because he wanted the Cowboys to host the Super Bowl in Big D.
You want to know how bad it was he was hosting the Super Bowl? He gave seats to people with obstructive views.
I remember that, and that's on ITMI when we were there, and we had him as the Rat Bastard of the Week back in February. That was funny.
Gives a seat to a guy behind a beam. Guy's got a beam in front of his face. Way to go, Jerry.
I wonder what happens the next time Dallas hosts the Super Bowl and Jerry Jones. I wonder if everybody will remind him, how are you going to handle the seating arrangements for all the people that come there?
You know what? Here's a great analogy. Jerry Jones has got a beam in front of his face as the owner because he can't see getting rid of the GM. How about you like that? You like that?
Yeah, I'm just laughing at what Nicky says. Doesn't Jerry Jones look like the one drink away from a heart attack at all?
I'd like to see somebody try and yank that freaking wig off his head. Him and Donald Trump got the best wigs in the business, man. I'm telling you, Jerry Jones has got this beam like he put somebody in a seat in a stadium. He's got this beam in front of him. He can't see past the beam to get rid of the GM.
And he's thinking that Dallas is the real deal when they have a horrible defense.
Hey, Sean,
no run and no pass.
Sean, what is Jerry Jones, and I want you to say it like Jerry Jones, what is he going to say immediately after they lose on Sunday night's game?
Well,
hey,
what
Jerry,
I'll say
hey,
is
Jerry,
that
hey, here we go.
We didn't make the playoffs. We
Sean,
might as well start building for next year.
Sean, I'll ask you the question. Hey, Jerry Jones, tough loss. What are you thinking?
I'm heartbroken and devastated.
What,
I thought we had a good team this year to go all the way to the Super Bowl.
What are your plans? What are you going to do now? Are you going to fire the head coach?
Star quarterback.
You're going to fire the head coach?
I think I'll keep Jason Garrett on for another year, and Romo comes back healthy, and I'll be guaranteeing another Super Bowl like Joe Namath did.
What about the GM? Doesn't he deserve to be fired? After all, he hasn't won anything in several years. What is he doing for you?
And then he'll always say this. He goes, well, who's going to come in there and be general manager? Do you want to be general manager, Jeff Eskow? Just move on down to Dallas, and you can do the operation.
Come on, man. He's going to say, well, we're gonna have a fighting chance for next year. Yeah, right. Get the hell out of here. That's great, man. That's freaking awesome.
You know what Dallas' playbook looks like with Romo at QB? Go with the worst play possible and blow the game, usually in the fourth quarter.
You know something? Jerry Jones was so excited that they won. Why are you so excited? You beat a team that has 3 freaking wins, for Christ's sakes.
And only by 1 point.
And by what, you barely won the game.
Well, then he would say, well, a win is a win. We still won the game. We're still in playoff contention. So what do you say about that?
Hey, Jerry Jones, your season is over. What are you gonna? What's your plans for next year? Say that line. Say it. Come on.
Well, go back to the drawing board and start looking at our defense and have a healthy Romo, and we'll have Jason Garrett back, and we'll be back next year, and I'll be predicting another Super Bowl run for the Cowboys.
Oh, you think you can make it to the Super Bowl next year, Mr. Jones?
Yes, that's exactly what yeah, absolutely. I predicted it this year, but it didn't happen, but we'll be back.
You predict it every year and it doesn't happen. You keep predicting it, sir. I'm telling you, man.
It's been a long 19 years, but he goes, we're almost a few years away. next year, a few years away from being a Super Bowl team, return to the tradition of the 90s.
You've been saying that for 20 years, sir. Come on, keep going, Sean. Anything you say, I can rebut. Let's go.
Well, then he'll just continue to say, the Cowboys have the best fan base ever. We don't let those Cowboy fans down.
Are you sure about that?
Great coach, good system, great fans.
Are you sure about that? The way they're talking about Tony Romo, they don't like him.
And he'll say, look, I have my future quarterback in Romo, and he's going to take us very, very far.
How do you pay a man $106 million when he's only won you one playoff game?
Well, it's because, give him some time. He's been in there for a while.
Give him some time. He's been in there for 13 years for crap.
He'll start winning more playoff games and be better than Tom Brady or Eli Manning.
Yeah, what are you smoking, Jerry Jones?
And then he'll say, I just know my facts.
You know your facts? Your facts are wrong. Tony Romo's won one playoff game since he's been the quarterback of that freaking team. One. Fact number one. Fact number two, you haven't won a Super Bowl game since 1995. Fact number two.
And then he'll just continue to say, he goes, Cowboys' future is bright because we're America's team.
America's team. Yeah, America's team. Well, you stuck an American in a seat at the Super Bowl behind a beam. How do you feel about that, Mr. America's team?
And then he would say this to you. He goes, well, if you're a Giants fan, then how come my Tony Romo beat your Eli Manning twice in the regular season this year?
I got a question for you, Mr. Jerry Jones. How come Eli Manning has 2 Super Bowl wins and an MVP? Mr. Tony Romo's got crap.
He'd probably come back and say, well, it's because Eli Manning had his share. You got to give him credit, and he got pretty lucky in some of those games.
Lucky? 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 How do I hang up on you?
And then he says, well, yeah, I got lucky, especially beating us in the divisional playoff game back in January of 2008.
Listen, Jerry Jones is so old he doesn't even know how to use an iPhone, for Jiminy Cricket's sake. Okay, the guy uses a flip phone. The guy's a billionaire and he uses a flip phone. And he has his son clean his glasses for him.
Well, the guy's 71 years old. That's how old Jerry Jones is.
And you know when the next time they're gonna win one? 71 years from now, when none of us will be around to see it.
I'm sure he's like Al Davis. He says, I'm gonna win 2 more Super Bowls and then I'm gonna retire.
What, as a general manager?
As probably the owner, president, and general manager.
Thank God. Okay, I'm making a statement because you pushed me to it before we get out of here. As long as Jerry Jones is the general manager of the Dallas Cowboys, they will not win a Super Bowl. You like that statement?
And then he'll just say, we're still America's team forever and ever, and be a Cowboy fan and come to Dallas. I'll treat you well.
As long as Jerry Jones is the general manager of the Dallas Cowboys, they ain't winning a Super Bowl. I'm just saying. On that note, we're getting the flock out of here. Hey, everybody, have a merry, 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 merry Christmas tomorrow. We'll be back on Thursday for another edition of Sports World Radio. Have a great Christmas tomorrow. We'll see you on Thursday. Remember that for Sean Man, I'm Jeff Escow. Remember, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable. Peace out, everybody. Have a great Christmas. We will see you on Thursday. Later.
Bye, and Merry Christmas, everybody.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
You asked me for a date. You said for Christmas Eve, by then you'd lose some weight. I think I understand the tinsel in your hair. But why have you got mistletoe inside your underwear? Oh, jingle balls, jingle to and fro, watching all the little puppies making yellow snow. Oh, jingle balls, jingle 1, 2, 3. Why don't you come over here and jingle balls with me? Splashing in your gash in a one-horse open sleigh. My parents think you're trash, but I think you're okay. Filling park balloons from a nozzle up my ass. I'd like to